Dear students, let us study today a poem Daffodils written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth has been very famous poet and he has been called a worshipper of nature. Dear students, let us have summary of the poem Daffodils. A great lover of nature, William Wordsworth had once wandered aimlessly, just like a cloud floats in the sky. He had suddenly come across countless golden daffodils by the side of a lake. Those golden daffodils were fluttering and dancing in the air, appearing like stars twinkling in the sky. They made as if they were dancing in a frenzy way. The poet compares the golden daffodils with the stars that shine and twinkle in the sky. The poet feels the number of the daffodils as never ending as the stars in the Milky Way. The waves of the lake are also dancing, but the dance of the daffodils surpassed the dance of the waves in happiness. The poet is wonderfully delighted in such a pleasant company. According to the poet, he could scarcely realize that he was collecting a treasure in his mind. As time went on, the poet found himself in the vacant or pensive mood. Pensive means a thoughtful mood. But the beautiful sight of the golden daffodils began appearing in his mind, and that recollection filled the poet's heart with extraordinary delight. In a nutshell, the poem exemplifies how William Wordsworth, a pantheist, derived extraordinary bliss in the most ordinary things. Dear students, let us have the explanations of daffodils. Stanza number one. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The explanation of the above lines is: in the first stanza of William Wordsworth's I wandered lonely as a cloud, the speaker uses first person to personalize what he says and to give more depth and meaning to his words. In the first line, the speaker uses melancholy diction to describe how he wandered lonely as a cloud. He then shifts to euphoric tone when he describes the host of golden daffodils. He uses descriptive imagery when he says that they were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The reader immediately senses that the speaker has brought him to a utopia. The peaceful language and the description of the beauty allows the reader to feel carefree and at ease. Stanza number two. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. 10,000 saw I at a glance. The poet has used here a poetic device which is also known as the figure of speech, that is hyperbole. And in the last line, tossing their heads in a sprightly dance, personification has been used. The explanation of the above lines. In the second stanza, the speaker shifts his focus from the daffodils and compares them with the continuous stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. The speaker allows to reader to experience the majesty of seeing 10,000 stars at a glance. At this point, the reader begins to sense that he is not on earth anymore, but rather in a place full of majesty and beauty, perhaps heaven or some other form of afterlife. Throughout the poem, rhyme and rhythm help it to flow smoothly, giving the readers a continued sense of utopian peace. The rhyme scheme AB AB CC is an integral part of bringing the reader a sense of rest and peaceful. This stanza not only allows the reader to feel the sense of peace the speaker feels, but also to feel life. This is not simply a peaceful place, it is full of life. Figurative language and personification are used when the daffodils are described as tossing their heads. This gives the readers the feeling that this peaceful utopian place is also lively and spirited. Stanza number 3. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Glee means here happiness. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. Gay means also happiness, and jocund company means the happy company. I gazed and gazed. Here the poet has used repetition. Gazed means here looked, kept on looking, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. What wealth there is alliteration. The explanation of this third stanza is the third stanza continues the personification, describing how the waves danced and the daffodils outdid the sparkling waves in glee. This continues to give readers a sense of peace and joy combined with lively action. The personification of the daffodils also reveals their effect on the speaker as he regards them with life and attributes to them the ability to feel glee. Dear students, the speaker then shifts the focus back to himself as a poet when he says, a poet could not but be gay. This portrays the effect the dazzling daffodils had on the speaker when he says, what wealth the show to me had brought. It shows that the mere sight of the golden daffodils somehow enriched his life and brought wealth to him. The use of the word wealth reveals that the sense of peace and joy are worth more to the speaker than money or other worldly wealth. This also gives the reader the idea that some things are worth more than money and worldly goods, such as peace, joy, and life. Dear students, let us have stanza number 4. For oft, oft means often. When on my couch, couch means here sofa, I lie, I refers to the poet William Wordsworth. In vacant or in pensive mood. Vacant means here that in respiteful hours. Pensive mood means here thoughtful mood. They means here daffodils. Flash upon that inward eye. Inward eye means here the eyes of mind, which is the bliss of solitude. Solitude means here loneliness. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. In the last line, the poet has also used personification. The explanation of this fourth stanza is: in the fourth stanza, the speaker shifts from a peaceful, joyful tone to one of pensive thought. He also comes down from the cloud and reveals the reality of his current physical state. Even though he no longer sees the dancing waves and the golden daffodils, he reveals that he will never forget them when he says, they flash upon that inward eye. The speaker reveals that he not only still has the memory of the daffodils, but that he has also kept the memory of how they made him feel. He reveals this when he says, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. This gives the reader the sense that the speaker has either been dreaming or has had an experience in which he caught a glimpse of heaven. It leaves the reader with a yearning to find that perfect place of utopian peace.
Thank you, students. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe.